Hey everybody, Scruff here. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing really well. Today I'm going to be showcasing an ambitious mod, a game-changing mod, and you know I'm always up for any game-changing and ambitious mods that I see out on GitHub, and this one definitely ticks the boxes for that, so stick around. If you like playing realistically, this is an exciting mod to delve into and check out. Yeah, I mean, we've seen some in FS25 already, quite a lot. Ara's done a lot of work, but this is right up there for me as one to watch. It's very early days. It's still a work in progress, so expect bugs. You know, you can offer feedback and stuff like that on GitHub page to try and improve it, but it's basically called the Advanced Damage System mod. So this mod completely overhauls how vehicle wear and tear works, turning repairs into real strategy instead of just button presses. It's still a work in progress, like I said, but what's already here adds depth, realism, and risk to every decision you make with your machinery. So if you're looking to take your gameplay to, you know, the next level, realistically, you know, this mod is definitely something to have a serious look at. Now I'm going to try and break it down. There's a lot of information on the GitHub page. We're going to give you, I'm going to give you a few examples. I've not properly used this in game. I checked it out and thought I'd best do a video on this because I know a lot of people probably ask me questions like, what am I using and where did I get it from? So it's PC only because it's obviously heavily scripted and it's on GitHub right now as an early work in progress. So a link will be in the video description if you want to check it out. But I'm going to break it down now and just go through it very briefly, and then we will kind of check it out in game and see what examples we can give you as we go through it. So before we get into everything, first thing I'm just going to say to anyone that's downloading this, it is, like I said, a work in progress beta version. Expect bugs and expect changes through its development. Back up your save game as well before using it. You will probably see some mod conflicts. I know one issue that's being looked at and sorted already, which is something that really does need to get fixed, which is it disables GPS at the moment, so the in-game base, you know, GPS by giants, but I think that's already been fixed. I know it's a recent one, but I have seen an update that's looking like that's been fixed, but we'll have to check it out. It's also not multiplayer compatible yet, but it could be in the future. So the philosophy behind this, it's not just about fixing machinery. You can now manage it like a real farmer would. You've got a balance between saving money and risking breakdowns. Brand choice also matters. So, you know, will you go for a reliable versus the cheap option? Because that's going to have an impact now. And also there's going to be a new system breakdown in the game. So two key features to that are going to be condition, so the damage and the stress, the vehicle, heat, neglect, restored via the overhaul. You can restore basically, I'll show you that in a second. Also servicing, so you need to do services, and there's going to be consumable wares like brake pads, I imagine, and maybe oil changes, things like that. And you can restore all that via the maintenance page, which I'll show you again in a second. And then there's also not like neglect. So if you don't take it for service, you know, it'll speed up the condition loss of your tractor. And this is like all vehicles, so harvesters, anything like that. And it actually does have an effect on the amount of yield you're going to lose, so the harvester kind of efficiency basically, which it does break down to you and show you. So you've also got dynamic breakdowns. They're random, but they are logical, and they're tied to the vehicle use and abuse, basically. Breakdowns build over time if they're ignored, so there's like stages to them. I think it goes up to stage 5 and starts at stage 1. So if you get like a breakdown that's at stage 1, you don't get it sorted out, it will kind of get worse and worse, and eventually at stage 5 it's more of a critical issue that's going to have a bigger effect on the way the vehicle works. It might not even start at that point. Depends what the actual breakdown is. I'll show you a list of the breakdowns included in a second. Going into that, basically unique system failures are engine, transmission, brakes, hydraulics, electrical, and cooling. Now, there's also temperature situation. There's also a temperature simulation that's been put in, so individual heat tracking for components. Overheating reduces power or causes failure. Modern tractors reduce power to avoid the damage. So if you've got a modern tractor, it kind of takes that into account through its system, the way it works. So if you're overheating, you might lose a bit of power, but it's for a reason. It's to protect the engine. Whereas if you've got an old school tractor like this you know, like this 3650 in front of me, you're pretty much guaranteed that's not going to protect itself. You need to kind of look at the temperature sensor that's now in the hood, which again, I'll show you in a second. So there's a maintenance system overhaul as well. So the inspection, you can do that to find issues early. And then you've got maintenance, so replace oil and filters. I have made a list of all this stuff because it's just so much to go into. And then you can do repairs as well in the menu, which is fixing faults and stuff. And then you can also do this thing that they're calling overhaul, which basically restores the condition. It's costly and time consuming, but obviously it will return the kind of old school tractor that you've been using a lot to its original condition. Yeah, all tasks in game take game time and money. So if it takes 6 hours in game, that vehicle's obviously out of use for that period of time. And then, yeah, so it's something to keep in mind. So there's realistic malfunction effects, so you'll get less power in game, you'll get higher fuel usage, slower hydraulics at the back end, also electrical failures, the gears will slip and you'll kind of see that in game or hear it. Somehow you'll experience that as the player, and then the engine start issues as well. There's also brand and age differences, like I've mentioned. Brands now have reliability and wear rates, and there's new UI elements, so new HUD icons and workshop menus to monitor, which show you the condition, does it need a service, has there any faults, and the history as well. There's also console commands, which I've been using to try and set this up for the video. So if you are, wanting to test out, debug, things like that, you have got, console commands. So yeah, let's get into it. This mod's going to, this mod, from the sounds of it, is going to change a lot for FS. And I can't wait to actually delve into it and check it out. So first thing I want to do is bring up my console commands, because I want to show you. So if you put ADS, which is obviously Advanced Damage System, and it'll show you all the commands we can do. But I just want to show you a list of the breakdowns so we can have that straight away. So you can see there, we've got brake malfunction, carburetor clogging, CVT thermostat malfunction, ECU malfunction, electrical system malfunctions, engine jam, fuel injector malfunction, fuel pump, general wear and tear, hydraulics, hydraulic pump, material flow system, overheat protection, power shift hydraulics, thermostat malfunction, transmission slip, transmission synchronizer malfunction, turbocharger wear, and yield sensor malfunction. So you can see there's a lot of stuff that can go wrong, and obviously over time you'd expect that the modder is going to put more faults maybe into it. Now, talking about the modder as well, his name is actually ID577, so that's the name of the modder. That's what he's put in the mod description as well as the author's name. So this is by ID577. So big shout out to him, and really excited to try this out and experience it. I've got a lot of mods, so I am worried, I'll be honest, that it's going to flip with quite a few things. I have put it with the garage menu mod because I really wanted to know if that's having an effect. So far, it's looking pretty good. Now, it does require one mod. It's dependable on the vehicle years mod, and the reason for that is obviously you need to kind of determine basically it needs something to talk to the mod to tell it how old a tractor is, and does it have these kind of systems. So first things first, let's get into this 3650. Now this is pretty much in a perfect condition, but I want to show you that hub in the bottom right. Right now we've got miles per hour, then we've got the oil level to the right of it, and we've got a battery sign, a warning sign, and a temperature sign. You can even see the temperature. It's 19.9 degrees Celsius. Now, what I would advise, if you're going to be using this mod, is make sure to warm up the engine before you start. It'll start off pretty much like in blue, as you can see there. I would wait until that goes grey, which tells you that the temperature is fine on the vehicle, and at that point then you can start driving around. Now, you will experience things as you're going around. This tractor, I've not put any damage to it. I've not put any breakdowns on it or anything like that, but there's a few that have got a difference. Now, also, because it's an old tractor, it doesn't have a service light. We're not seeing any kind of warning for service, and when we do jump into the more modern tractors, we're going to see more on a dash down there on that HUD to try and tell us we need to do something. But I just want to show you first off that the engine's getting warm and we can use it at a certain point. But I mean, the best thing to do is, if you know you're going to run around in your tractor, I would just turn it on a couple minutes before, and then you're good to go. So now this tractor, 50 odd degrees Celsius, it's not cool anymore. It's not on that, got the blue and the temperature kind of icon. It's greyed out. So that's, to me, is like a good time to kind of start using the tractor. But let's have a look. This has obviously not had a service. It does say down there the condition is excellent in the last inspection, which is never, in the last maintenance is never. Now, even though a lot of these are in bad state, it still does say that the condition is excellent. Now, I don't know if that's because I need to do an inspection on it. It probably is, but we'll find out. So let's just go into a workshop. This is how you would, interact with it in game. You go to the workshop, park it up, put your trigger, and then what you would do is just press repair, and then we're going to get this brand new menu that gives us a lot of options. So you can see that we've got the value, the age, the operating hours, maintainability, which is average. So that's for this John Deere. And then the last maintenance, which is never, you've got serviced, is it required? It says it's not required, and the conditions in excellent. The current power as well, so it tells you if you drop in power, if you're losing it over time, probably because of wear and tear, but also because you've probably got an issue. And then it also tells you your brake efficiency and the harvest efficiency, which is obviously not relevant currently, but it would be for a harvester. So the first thing we want to do is an inspection, and it's going to take an hour and 55 minutes. It finishes at 10:39, and the price is going to be £43. So we want to do that first. So the inspection for that's in progress. Now, what I want to know is, can I drive this now that it's having an inspection? No, we can't. We can't do anything. Inspection is in progress. So that stays there, and you go about your business. So what we want to do, obviously, because it's the beauty of playing a game, we can speed up time. And we can... In fact, what I am going to do is put on extra time scales. So I think it was 10:55, I think it was, when I've gone. Yeah, so there you go. It says, oh, there's a missing, inspection missing. That's because obviously it's early days, but that is sorted out now. Let's put it to ×1. There we go. So we can start this up, but we don't want to start it up because we want to see what's happened with the inspection. So we need to go back into the menu, go to repair, and it's basically given us there's no issue. I mean, we could do a maintenance for £500. We can even do the overhaul option, but it seems like there was no issue. I think it's just come back saying your tractor's sound. You don't need to worry about anything. So. Yeah, I mean, what we could do is just put maintenance 3 hours, so it's 2:45. Let's do that. And what I do want to do is just check. So last inspection was this month, and then the maintenance is on it now. So let's see what happens there, because obviously we've paid the money. Well, let's go to 2:45. I mean, we are going to skip through. We are going to skip through a few days doing this, and in fact, what I'll do is I'll set the month days to a lot higher, just to avoid skipping through multiple years. Right, so that's, again, missing. Maintenance is missing. I think that's just some information that needs to be put in. But yeah, the month is done. So the last maintenance is then, and that was what was on the clock. I think it is for the hours. So we're good to go with this. This tractor is sorted out. Happy days. If we go back into it, you can see that, you know, didn't expect to see anything. Everything's at 100. We know that the last maintenance was basically, that's the amount of hours on the clock when it had the service, because that's what that means. We're giving it a service. But let's go and have a look at some of the other tractors then, because the other ones, well, they're definitely more problematic. And I think we go and start with a 3650 over here that's definitely got some issues. Now, I don't know exactly what breakdowns I've put on this, but I know I've put... I'm not sure I put any breakdowns, but I've definitely made it so it's old. It's, had quite a lot of use. The clock I'm not changed, which I probably should do, but you can see that the oil level light's on, and it looks like it's worn. The damage is high. So let's inspect this and see what's going on with this tractor. I'd expect it to be a lot worse, and it doesn't show up that. Yeah, we've got a repair option here. And it hasn't charged me money, even though it does still say that there. So what we want to do, it still says it doesn't need a service, but that's probably because it goes off the operating hours. So if we just put inspection 16:53, and then what I am going to do is with these ones, I'm going to change the operating time on them. I think it's a good idea. So while that's going through, I'll start changing some of the operating times, and yeah, we can make it so it's a little bit more of a challenge. Now, the time actually progressed past when it originally said, but it's actually carried on. So maybe they found some issues and they keep going. So we'll speed up time and hope that this finishes without any major issues. Yeah, so it has finished, thankfully. Let's have a look what they found. You can see the paint condition and the condition has shot down. We are missing some stuff here, but like I said, it's early days. But it does need a service. It doesn't need any repairs, but the condition is terrible. So yeah, our brake efficiency is down to 60%, and we've actually only got 82 horsepower out of this tractor. So if we do a maintenance on it, it's going to take 16 hours. This is going to be a big job for them. And if you've noticed as well, it's still all £500. So yeah, let's see what happens after that. And we'll skip through to, what was it? It's going to be 9:30 in the morning. Right, so it's the next day. Got a bit of rain. Let's have a look at what's gone on here. So it's still in a terrible condition, and we've still... Our brake efficiency is still at 60%, and the current power is still at 70%. So I don't know if that's just because of the age of it or the condition it's in. I don't actually know. I mean, to me, that should have possibly fixed. So very strange, very strange. But again, it is early days. It's early days. It does say that I've done the maintenance this month, and yeah, that is a strange one. So maybe that's a little bit of an error. But it does say service is not required. It's just the condition. Is that because I need to do the overhaul? So that's going to take 1 day. So let's just leave that doing that, and we'll move on to another one. Now let's move over to a more modern tractor. This John Deere, you can see I've got a lot more icons in the hood. You can see it's got a service bit. So let's start the engine up. We'll see it all do its thing. The lights, it's telling us I need a service, telling us I need an oil change as well, because them two lights are on, and it's telling us it's a bit cool. So let's just drive over here. Now I remember that I did set this up with a few breakdowns. I'm pretty certain of it. So it'll be good to try this out. I've also put some hours on this John Deere, but it should, it should give us a lot more information because it is newer, especially on the hood. So you can see the condition is, I think, maybe going up a little bit over time there because of the work that's going on. So let's go to here, repair. Service is not required. It is saying that, but that's because we really do need to do an inspection. The overhaul would cost a fortune on this tractor, and the maintenance as well is about 3,000. That's for like a service. So let's just give them £300 just to have a look, which is going to be interesting. And I think what we also do is take this T8, which is a beast of a machine, by the way, because that also says it needs a service and an oil, and check the oil out. So see if we can fit them all into this. Hope the trigger's big enough. Yeah, just get the ball rolling with the inspections of these at least. And we'll leave that one, that Fiat Agri, to the end, because I do know that it's got a lot of problems. I made sure of it. So I'll skip through until all three of these are sorted, and then we'll, recap and see what's going on with them. So the New Holland and the John Deere are sorted. Obviously, the one having the full kind of rework is not sorted yet, which makes sense. I'm hoping that it is, like if we go into the John Deere 3650, I'm hoping that basically the brake efficiency and the power has gone down just because of the fact that it's, I don't know. It could be because of the condition of it. I don't know. But I thought the maintenance would have put the condition back up. And yeah, that's the only thing I can think of that would increase it, unless the condition goes down. The only thing you can increase the condition of it overall is by doing the overhaul. That's maybe what it is. But anyway, let's go to this one. So it's saying that that part is where it's, I need that thing that's, obviously we've got an error there, but that's the bit that I need the section to show me what's going on. But I'm just going to give it a maintenance, because it's telling us there's no repairs needed, which makes sense because I know I didn't put any on that. So let's just see what happens when we do that one. But the John Deere, definitely, I put some breakdowns on. So it's really difficult to kind of showcase this mod. There you go. So we've got an ECU error. It's slightly reducing engine power, and that's how much it would cost to fix it. And it's a minor repair as well. So we could do the repair and then the maintenance, or we can do the maintenance. I think we should probably do the repair and then do the maintenance after, because I think that's probably the best thing to do. I mean, brake efficiency on that's 95, and the current power is 86.2, and the maintainability is low, and the last maintenance, yeah. So there's loads of information to kind of dive into there, but let's just keep skipping time and see what happens. Right, so both the John Deere and the T8 are sorted out. So if we go to this now, go to repair, Everything seems to be good. 100% on everything. It's had it serviced. It's in excellent condition. And yeah, we don't really need to worry about that. So let's get that out of the way, because that tractor's sorted out. And then we'll have a look at the other John Deere. We're still waiting for the overhaul as well on this John Deere, which is going to be done at 11 in the morning. And this one, we've also got to make sure we give it the maintenance. But it should have had the repair now. So it hasn't got any issues anymore, which is good. So let's do the maintenance. And that's also in the morning. So let's skip through time again. We will finally get to that Fiat Agri, I promise. There we go. So both are done. Let's first look at the John Deere 6R and have a look. So the conditions set at normal. It has gone up a little bit, like the power has. So it must be the fact that it does need an overhaul, because I have set the condition to this to 50%, basically like halfway down. So it happens over time. It's just natural wear and tear. But this now doesn't need a service, and pretty much you've given it its maintenance, which says there happened this month. So that's like that you can see that as the service. So let's have a look at this. So you can see now we've shot back up to 100 on the current power and the brake efficiency, and it's now excellent. So that overhaul there is like when you get like an old school Massey, a 135. She's looking weird. She's had some use, and someone goes and refurbishes it, and it looks almost brand new again. That's pretty much what that overhaul does. It's a lot of money, but yeah, you shouldn't get there unless you're buying something really old secondhand and it's battered. So yeah, remember, it is early days. This is a beta, and it's gonna change, get improved. More failures will be added. They'll find plenty of bugs, and yeah, if you're interested in this, it sounds like a mod you want to play with. Then the more people that do choose to download it and send feedback and go on the GitHub and just report any bugs or issues, the quicker it's going to get sorted out, and it's going to be a final version. I don't know if it's intended to go to Mod Hub. I'm not sure, but I do know one thing, it's pretty cool. Now, did you hear that then on the Fiat Agri? She didn't want to start at all. So we are in a bad way with this Fiat Agri. But we did start eventually, which I like. So even though it's low, it's got no service light on because it's an old piece of kit. But we're just going to slowly go over there. I mean, to be honest, it's not doing much speed. This is as fast as it's going. It's obviously in dire need. It's got a lot of issues. This old girl needs some sorting out. This old girl needs some care. So we'll take her into the shop. We'll find out what's going on, but she doesn't sound good at all, and she struggled to start. So even using hydraulics and things like that would take slower if there's an issue with the hydraulics, which I really like. I really do like that. So all this information here is completely wrong. You can see the operating hours is insane that I've put on. It's saying everything's fine. It's clearly not. I'd say that the current power to that's about 20%, I'm going to say. Brake efficiency, haven't got a clue. I doubt it's very good. What I do like, though, is the maintainability of this is high. Now, I think that means it's good, because if it's low, it's not very good. So the Fiat Agri holds strong, basically. That's what it's trying to say. But let's do an inspection, have a look what's going on with this girl, and we'll figure out how much she's going to cost. It's probably going to be a costly thing, and that's one thing to point out with the mod. It's going to be a costly mod, and it's going to increase your maintenance fees, but that's going to be realistic. So there you go. Terrible condition, 10% power, not even 20. Brake efficiency 60%, so at least we can somewhat stop, but we've only got 16 horsepower in this Fiat Agri that's supposed to have 160. She is in dire need of some repairs. A lot of repairs here. We've got major issues. We've got the transmission here. It says, I think someone's walking behind, which is... Oh, it's that person. I was like, someone walking in the tractor. Anyway, let's go back. So we've got something worn clutch. So heavily worn clutch. Severe slipping makes it difficult to transfer power to the wheels. And then we've got a fuel injector is sticking. The engine runs very poorly with significant power loss and unreliable starting, which we've already experienced. So that's the fuel injectors doing that. Yeah, we've also got, like I said, with the clutch. So we'd probably, thinking about the transmission then on the clutch, we'd probably have it slipping out of maybe gear or something like that. So you'd experience that whilst driving it when you eventually did get it starting. The hydraulic lift system, so the damaged hydraulic pump implements are extremely slow and weak, which is what you'd expect. So if we put an attachment on, it would experience that issue. We've also got an issue with the cooling system. The thermostat is stuck closed. The engine will constantly overheat under load. So if you're doing work with this, I mean, this tractor is obviously in dire need. But if you did just have the cooling system, you'd notice that it's getting too hot. Then it'd get worse and worse, and you might get like an engine failure or something really bad at that point. And then we've got a final issue, if there isn't enough already, which is the fuel pump. Let's go back. So we've got critical fuel pressure, severe power loss, very high fuel consumption, and frequent engine stalls. So we've got a lot. So it's going to cost us just under 5,000 to get it all repaired. It's going to take 1 hour and 12 days, which is 3:45. They're going to work overnight with this. 3:45 in the morning the next day. So let's get that. Let's get the ball rolling with this. We're going to have to speed this one up, but I'm interested to see how much it improves by after doing the repairs. Right. Okay, so we've had a message pop up. Let's have a look what's going on. We've had some repairs, but some are still in progress, it looks like. Oh, or is it? This one, we need to repair that, and then also, we can't repair that. So only some of them can be repaired. You got to keep going in there and sorting that out, because it was the 4,000 odd, and then it's basically, yeah, because it said 4,000. I thought, was that everything? So it's not finished the job yet. We still got more to fix. So we've got one left to do, which is the fuel injectors, which is an important one to fix. Let's get that repaired. And then I think after that, all we need to do is the maintenance. And it should, hopefully after that, improve somewhat. I mean, she's had a lot of use. She's on the last legs. Now, while this is skipping through, I just want to say again, early days, expected to change, expected to get updated. Mod conflicts is my biggest worry with this one, because I've got a lot of mods that it could interfere with. I don't know, but report it if you experience anything. I'll do the same. I would love this to succeed and do really well. So let's show the modder some support on GitHub, get behind him and offer him, some help when it comes to fixing and repairs and stuff like that. If we can give him as much feedback as possible, we can get this, the ball rolling with this. So there we go. It's fixed all the issues, but it does need a maintenance, which is going to take 3.5 hours. So right to the end of the day. And then hopefully this is going to be as good as gold. Well, as good as we can get it. This is the engineer. He's like, why have you brought me this? He's having a mare of a day. He's like, where do all these tractors come with all these problems? So now it's still, terrible, but current power has gone up to 100%. And brake efficiency. So the maintenance did some maintenance actually worked wonders. The condition is terrible. It is. It's being honest with me. It's saying this tractor's terrible, pal. But we've got a power back. Everything's repaired. It's cost a lot of money. The maintenance, the maintainability is high on it. So maybe that's why the current power went back up to 100%. Maybe it is because of the fact this tractor's a known reliable brand, a tractor. So that could be something that you need to keep in mind. But yes, we've had a service. It says it's not required. We've did that. It even tells you like it was this month. And yeah, we just have to keep on top of it now. But it's nice to know we can get in the Fiat Agri. Let's just quickly look at that again. So it says, yeah, last inspection was this month and the last maintenance was this month. So, right, well, she's still not starting very well. So maybe that's just because of the old age of her. She'll go eventually, and then when she's going, she's going. That's how I see it. And there we go. My audio's cut out. Do you know what? That is so strange, but my audio keeps cutting out in game. I don't know if anyone else is experiencing this, but every tractor that's got an open pipe exhaust sound effect, it cuts out. And I think it's actually the Giant software open sound pipe effect that's doing it for my system. But yeah, I'd love to know if anyone else has got that. I know that's a completely off topic point, but my game sound's now gone. It's just the mic and just me, so all of it's gone, and the only way I can get it back is by stopping the game and starting it back up again. And it's always with open exhausts. It's a really strange one, but she is running. We can't hear her, but she is definitely running. I mean, she's not now because I stopped her. There you go. Now she's running. With the Fiat Agri as well, you'd have to kind of plan out when to go and take it for another service because of the fact it's got no service light. So maybe when the oil level light comes on, go do an inspection, give it a bit of service. But I'd say once a year. That's probably what I would aim for at the start. Once a year, give it a service. Probably best thing to do. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section. I love the idea of this mod. I think it's super cool. I'm going to support it. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the updates and seeing it grow. So let me know in the comment section what you think. Give the video a thumbs up if you found it informative. And I'll see you all in the next one with hopefully some game sound to go with the video.